What's up everybody, Patrick from wpbuilderhelper here, and today we're going to be building an affiliate website, or at least revising one that I already had. I had a theme for it. It wasn't my favorite theme, and I've kind of since moved it over to the Blocksy theme because I'm very interested in the Blocksy theme. I think that they've got some cool things coming. I've communicated with the Blocksy team, and I definitely can't wait to play it. So it's going to be like an overview of Blocksy, while also you can kind of learn what some of the features are and see how an affiliate site can be built. And I'll go over some of the details, some of the things I've learned from Project 24, and those type of things that you kind of want to be interested in. So if you're somebody who wants to build an affiliate site with WordPress and you've been kind of wondering about it or how to make money with them or whatever, I'll talk about my experiences and everything going in. So I hope you'll enjoy that, and let's get started. What's up guys? So we're back in this brand new website that I am developing for an affiliate site, and as you can see, I've changed my shirt. I got my WordPress swag on because I love WordPress. I got to get some more WordPress shirts. You know, it's something that I just think I need to do. So the point of this video is I'm going to take you through and walk you through. It's going to be a tutorial of, you know, talking about Blocksy and stuff like that, but I wanted to bring you on with some of the elements and talk about what I was doing. So the reason why I picked Blocksy is, to me, I think it's a pretty decent theme. They've said, I've talked to the developers, and they're a really small, unique developer that's kind of building Blocksy out, and I was really interested to reach out. They don't have anything for sale yet. I think they're going to be coming out with a pro theme, and you know, they've got some starter sites. It's got a lot of performance things that it does. It's very similar right now. To me, Blocksy and Cadence are the two big themes on the block right now that are fighting because of all the options and everything that they're dealing with. A lot of these themes are doing really amazing things and not charging you a dime to even use them, which I think is really cool. They're kind of giving you this stuff for free, and of course it works with all the major page builders, which is cool. Even Gutenberg, which I don't even consider a page builder, even though, you know, it is a page builder. It's also got some unique options like dark mode, as we can see here, and it's got header options and footer. Basically all the similar stuff that you'll find to Cadence. Almost no difference. The only difference between this and Cadence, to me, is that Cadence has got more themes to it. Like, Cadence has like an almost old school approach. It's not that I don't necessarily like it, but it kind of reminiscence of the old original Envato, where they had themes for each and everything. Like, you'd have a news theme and this theme. Blocksy's just one theme, and then it uses these kind of simple sites to take in kind of, you know, these starter sites to basically, you know, customize things to more of your liking. So they've got 6 total, and they just came out with some more, which is pretty cool. And they're going to be adding more to it, and some of them do different things. Like, some of them you can download and you can use with Brizzy or Elementor or Gutenberg, or, you know, it's really neat the way that they've varied all of these things and they're including them. I can't wait to see more sets too, because the sites look really good and they work really well, and the Blocksy options are just amazing. So I'm going to be using the P24 method, which is Income School's method of basically designing an affiliate site. They've kind of done it. They have like their own theme, which is Acabado, and I think it's going to be getting an upgrade soon. It's not really my favorite theme. I've downloaded it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make a video on it and what you can do. There are some unique features, and it is very fast. They've basically taken out a lot of it. My main complaint, which I think that their newer version is going to talk about, is the fact that all the sites, if we open up all of these sites, they all basically look exactly the same. Do you notice that? Do you see how I'm clicking through the sites and yet they all look the same? So that's my main problem with Acabado. I think that the stuff, I think it's a good theme, and I think that that's great. But I kind of went to the developers and I said, hey, look, I don't understand. Like, color coding CSS and stuff like that does not necessarily make your files bigger. So I was a little bit confused as to why they wouldn't do something to change things, because color coding things and giving you the ability to do that really does not make your files bigger. CSS is a small portion of a site's overall fatness, with pictures probably being the top of that, and then JavaScript and all kinds of other scripts coming in second and third and stuff like that. Pictures are probably one of the bigger things that you can run into. But changing the colors and everything, it always bothered me that it didn't have more options for that. So that's why I originally said, okay, I need to go and I need to find a theme for my affiliate site. And I think Bloxy's it. I really like Bloxy. I think it's just got some very, very useful things that's in it. And so that's what we have. So today, if we take and we go and look here, I don't know if I saved this or not. This is basically Bloxy, and it's a very basic looking site. There's nothing special. Let me move this down real quick. I actually originally had another site where basically Bloxy was, I imported some data, because this was originally like one of these sites. And then I imported some data and I said, I don't like the way that looks. It wasn't my favorite. I didn't like the way the blog post looked. I didn't like anything like that. So now we're going to take and we're going to deep dive into this, and I'm going to kind of go through it and just walk you through how to build not only a Bloxy site, but I'm going to build an affiliate site. So let's go through it. Let's not waste any more time, because I don't want this to be a super long video. I make way too long of videos, and that's one of my biggest problems. So I'll be using the Bloxy companion because by default they recommend you use it. I'm using Defender. I might use Lazy Load for videos because this was installed on the Income School site, but then I kind of decided against it. I don't know. I'm going to see. I don't know how many videos are actually going to be on this site. Rank Math, obviously. I typically go for SEO Press. That's really my favorite SEO program. But I'm trying to give Rank Math a chance. I'm sure eventually Rank Math's going to have to go paid. I don't know how they can stay free, but whatever. Really simple SSL just to convert the site over to an SSL and making sure it's locked and all of that. Swift Performance for caching and helping speed up the site. Short Pixel Optimizer for optimizing the images. And I may end up going to Adaptive, and then WP Vivid Backup plugin for backing up the site and just making sure in general that it's backed up. So basically about eight total plugins. And I might eventually add in a Gutenberg plugin just to add some functionality. I bought a copy of which is going to end up being another video. I think it's called Quibbly. Yeah, I have a copy of this, and I really like it. It's kind of essentially the version of Cadence. They have a free download that you can download here, and I'll include all links to everything I'm talking about, both Income School and Quibbly and all of this down below. So if you want to get that, go ahead and look, and it'll have my affiliate link. So if you click on it and you buy something, I will get a share of it, just to point that out. But I'm using all of this, and I think it's really cool. Quibbly is a kind of like a Gutenberg editor, essentially. There's a lot of these Gutenberg editors. It's growing really fast, but I don't want to get down a rabbit hole. They've got a lot of different things that you can add. Ready-made sites. It works really well with Bloxy. It's one of my favorite things to use. So we're going to jump into this. So let's jump into this, and I'll kind of show you what's going on. So the basic element of a P24 site is that you should have they believe you want to set it up similar to how they set up their site. So if we take a look at this site again, they like this having this giant image, and then they have this, and then there's a search. I don't know if the search is really all that important. Some people would say yes, it is. You need to include it, but I really think it's just a waste of space. And then when you take and you go to one of these, I don't even know if this will be in here because it looks like whoever bought this, so they recently sold these sites, and it looks like whoever bought this just took off the sidebar, which is kind of stupid. Sidebars don't make a lot of money on sites like these. Most people ignore them because, you know, the about us and the legal information is not good. But at the same time, a lot of these sidebars will add a great amount of impact to your ads, even though, you know, most of your big ads are the ones that make you the most money, like your top of the page ads and in article ads are the one that make you the most money. So as you can kind of see here, you can see that there's ads rolled into it. And eventually, that's a really annoying ad. So he's got a sidebar ad that's a sticky ad. I would never do that. I can't stand sticky ads. It's just annoying. I mean, this is about as sticky as I would get at the bottom because in most cases you can just click off of that. But I don't like the whole ad experience. I do it on my site to make some kind of revenue because eventually you get to the point where these affiliate sites, if you're not making some kind of revenue pretty quickly, then you start wasting money because you're buying, you know, articles and you're buying stuff like that. So the point of this site from a basic understanding is I'm going to take the income school model, and it's going to be a computer basics site. I really like computers. I built them most of my life, and I know a lot about them, even though I'm not a quote-unquote techie person. I'm not somebody that works in IT or does anything like that. So the point would be to create a computer basics site so somebody could come on here and maybe answer some of the basic questions of Windows, of how to set up your computer, what things to watch out for, that kind of thing. So let's go in and let's dive into Blocksy, because I know I've already wasted enough time here talking about all this. And let's look over the settings of this. So, you know, you've got color options, you've got header options, blog options, page options, sidebar and footer options. And you can do beta updates, and you can also submit tickets. So FYI, this theme was broken for me a couple days ago, and I submitted a ticket, and the Blocksy theme literally fixed it in like, I don't know, like an hour or two. They fixed it really, really fast. I was really impressed by the Blocksy team and how quickly they fixed that. I'm not saying that you'll get that same kind of support. I think they were just helping me out, but I was really impressed by the fact that they did that, and I thank them for that. So you've also got some extensions here. I'm using the cookie consent extension. I'm not going to use the MailChimp. I'm hoping that they're going to add some more free extensions, like I use SendFox. I do use MailChimp for some sites because it is free. It's not my favorite. I'd rather use SendFox or something like that because I think that that's a better subscription plan. It's much cheaper, and it's got some better things for it. And I'm also using the widgets. I'm not going to use trending, I don't think, and I'm definitely not adding WooCommerce to the site. So, you know, and then obviously they've got some useful plugins here that you can take and you can go through and you can add. So Elementor, Brizy, Stackable's another Gutenberg block editor, which I think is really awesome. I was thinking about getting them at one point in time, and I just don't know. I can't have too many Gutenberg block editors because I don't like Gutenberg all that much. I think it's useful for building in combination with certain themes, but it's not my favorite. And then finally, we've got the change logs where they're just showing different things that they've changed, which actually they just released a brand new change on here. So let's go through and let's see how we want to set this up. So if we look at kind of what they did, there's always a recommended gear, and then these are usually categories depending on how you want to do it, how you want to set this up. So Camper Report was one of their big sites. But they've got like this big, huge image, and then they've got these baby images, and then you've got some images underneath. And then obviously it's got some, you know, some clicks down here where you can go through all the articles that they have. And then on this side, you usually do, you know, an about us to establish some kind of presence or something like that. So that's essentially what we want to do. That's what we want to emulate. We don't want to copy it completely, but we do want to emulate it. So that is what I'm going to go for. So let's go into, so one of the things I can see right off the bat is we're missing the widgets side. So let's go to the widgets side and let's add some widgets. And if you remember earlier, Blocksy allows you to add widgets. So you've got main sidebar here, and then you've got some footer widgets that you can add. So we'll add the about me, and we'll type in. So, okay, cool. This has got some very unique, wow. This already adds some very unique content where you can go in and, I don't know if this is Blocksy or if this is just WordPress, but it's pretty cool. It's got some unique stuff. I remember the old about me was just a square, and that was it. So this is a step up. I'm not used to seeing that type of thing. I'm going to add that. Save me. I think we are going to add some custom. I don't want to use HTML, but I may end up having to use some custom text. This is going to be the legal text. So legal text placeholder, a legal text placeholder, and that's just going to be there. And then I think from there, I think we're good. I think that should look pretty good. So you can even manage this with live preview, which is nice. You can kind of go in here and you can, yeah, see, so it's bringing up the about me. Holy crap, that is a ton of icons. What in the world is this? That's okay. The whole point is to have some kind of profile so that you can kind of just see what it looks like, because you don't want to customize it without a profile. So when you go into Blocksy, part of the thing that really stood out to me was the fact that you can go in and you can just totally customize it to the way you want. There's layout you can customize, obviously the size of the width of the container and the alignment and everything. Blocksy really doesn't block you from having anything. You can go in and customize your breadcrumbs. So if there's a certain type of breadcrumb style you like, you can go in and customize that. I think that typically shows up in post, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, so I have it right here in post. So you can customize it where the breadcrumbs are like that, which I like. I think that's better. I think that looks cleaner since it copies this. I wish you could customize this too, where that separator would also change that. That's a minor, problem, but I'm sure that you can later on in it. So I'm good with that, and we'll go and check out their buttons. So you can customize the buttons where they have a default color and size, so the buttons all have the same effect. So right now I think the buttons are just set to the default, which is like this. It's got a hover effect, which I don't know what that is. Is that, oh, so when it hovers it'll actually have a shadow under it. That's neat. I'm hoping that Pro adds more button related effects. I think that would be really cool to have more buttons so that you can kind of see just some different effects. Nobody wants to have the same button as everybody else. I mean, that's just annoying, especially when you only have 2 effects. Or give you the ability to customize the button would be awesome too. Like, give me the ability to customize the button a little bit more. And maybe they can, maybe I just don't know. So entry consent, what is this? Consent spacing, left and right blocks, links type. Oh, content spacing, compact. So you can choose spacing for your content. Spacious. So what is this changing? I'm confused. What am I seeing change? I see something change, but I only see it right here. Oh, okay. So this is the spacing between content. Okay. So is this like between paragraphs too? No. Okay, so it's uncomfortable. Left and right blocks, and then link types 1 and 2. What is the link types? I'm looking for the link types. Where are the links? I see a link right here. Link type 1, 2, 3. What is that? Oh, this is a link type. What's the link types? I don't know what that is. I'll have to look in the manual and see what we'll leave it on regular for right now. Form elements. So I think Blocksy has its own form or something along those lines, which is pretty cool. Most builders or most themes don't have a form that's built into it, and I think Blocksy does. It's also got a scroll to the top, which would appear down here. It's also got a viewpoint frame, which is also very, very original. If you wanted to take and do that, I mean, I'm not going to use it, and I think there's only a couple cases where you could do that. I think that you would mainly want to use it if you had one of these home pages where you had maybe the navigation over here, and then as you scrolled, it just went on to, page to page to page. I wouldn't use it. Another thing I like about blocks is when you click to activate this, you see these little arrows. You can kind of go in here, and then you can select frame color and sizes and all of that. It's really neat the way they do that. Oh, let's turn that off. So let's keep going through it. So we'll go into header. So header with Blocksy, and I really should move this, so I'm going to move this. Sorry about all the movement. Header in Blocksy works similar to the way it does, and maybe I should just move this down here. Sorry about that. It works similar to the way it does in Cadence. So you have all of these different, you have a button and a menu to and a social and an HTML and an account. And you basically put these things where you want them. So for instance, if I want the logo on a separate line, you can now see the logos up here and this is down here. And if you want the logo below it, you can put it down here. If you want the logo in the middle, a middle section opens up and you could have the logo right there. You could have the menu right here. So it's essentially the same thing as Cadence. I'm not going to follow the income school style because I don't like this big logo and then this. I think, this to me, if I'm looking at it, and I wish I had my ruler, I think I got rid of it. A long time ago I had a ruler where I could measure it, and I think I got rid of it from, let me see if I did. Oh, here it is. So if you take and you measure this, this takes up an enormous amount of space. So yeah, you're looking at a height of almost 321 pixels. And that, while that doesn't seem like much on a desktop, because people's desktops are getting much bigger and they're getting more pretty and stuff like that because they have bigger stuff, I'm just not a big fan of taking and throwing something together like that that's just got it's just too big. It's too big for me. I don't like it. I'd rather use that for something like this. So I'd rather push this up and have this smaller where this is not as much, and then have this bigger to draw more focus to somebody's attention. So to me, I think that that's a waste. So I'm going to leave my logo over here. Menu in the front, search like that. Yeah, for the most part, I don't hate that. I think that that's okay. I'm not sure that I like it. I think it definitely needs to have a search. Another thing that I think is a problem with this, though, I'd like to see Blocksy address it, is the fact that when you put a button down, you can't have another button, I don't think. No, you can't. You can only have one button. That's weird. What if I want two buttons? I wish I could have two buttons or three buttons. What if I want three buttons? I wish you could have any number of items on here. Obviously, the menus make sense, and you wouldn't want duplicate socials or duplicate searches, but I think buttons would be one where you need at least a button 1, 2, and 3, because somebody may have 3 buttons. I've seen 2 buttons before on a header, and I think that that's a little bit weird. It does give you some HTML, so you could throw some stuff in there, and then there's an account. I think that that is typically for, okay, so for here it's WordPress, so we would not use that, but I'm sure they add a WooCommerce something. You can do WooCommerce, and then obviously from here you have some global where you can make it sticky or you can make it transparent. If you make it transparent, it bumps everything up higher. So if you wanted to take and do that, and then you've got some conditions here, I think that's really cool. And if you want to do sticky, then I think you've got some options for only the main row, main and top row. So obviously top row, main row, bottom row. You can choose all rows, only the top row, which is pretty cool because you can literally, so let's say I have my logo at the top row. So I can say, only top row, right? So then when you scroll, this is the only thing that shows up. It doesn't show up the menu. Or let's say I only wanted the middle row. So there should be only main row. So if we select that, and then I scroll, now all I see is this, and you don't see the logo. I think that that's pretty neat. I like the way that they do that, and you've also got the transparent effect on here. I'm not going to add a sticky to it. I'm fine with someone scrolling past it, and then maybe I'll go to the top of the page later. So I'm not going to do with that. And footer works much of the same. It works mainly with widgets with the footer. So for right now, I'm going to stay with this. you can go in and you can kind of customize this however you want to. I think you go in and you edit it, and yeah, you can go in here and edit it, powered by theme author, which obviously I'm going to remove at some point. I mean, I like Bloxy, but I'm not going to put it at the bottom of my page because that's just, you know, just not my favorite. And then obviously from here you've got some editing that you can do. And wow, they even give you vertical alignment. I did not see that before. That's neat. I haven't seen too many themes that do some vertical alignment. That's something that's unique. At least to me, it's unique. So I added a widget area here because I'm probably going to have a widget area. But you can also go into each of these when you click them. I didn't show this before. And you have a column layout where you can do different columns. See, this is what I'm saying. If you did this on Astra or another theme, it would they charge you money for this. Bloxy is one of the few themes I know of that does anything like this, and I really, really like the fact that they do it. But let's keep moving through it because I just want to keep going through this. Like I said, I don't want to keep you here forever. So sidebar, let me move this down so we can kind of keep looking. So sidebar, I think you can customize the sidebar. Let's see what we got here. So it's got type 1, type 2. Oh, type 2 is got a white block. And then this has got just a line. So that does just a line all the way down. Okay. And then this does a white block. I don't like the way that looks. It's a little bit weird with the top and this. It looks kind of strange to me. It may just be me. I think this is probably the best one. I like the blocked out section. I think that's cool, and then it also allows you to, you know, change some gappage, and it lets you do separate widgets. What is that? Separate widgets. Separate widgets. Oh, so it separates the widgets. So rather than them being all together, you can have them separate. That's pretty cool. And then, of course, you can have a sticky sidebar. Neat. If you had something that you wanted to show off, I would be cool with that. I don't like ads on that, but if you're promoting something, I think that the sticky sidebar is cool. And then it's got some, you know, you saw it just had some more options. I think we'll leave it all together for right now. I'm fine with that. That's enough separation for me. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. And then from here, we'll go with colors. I'll go add colors later. I don't want to bore you. I'm going to basically use the same colors, and I have them written down. You can use color palettes on here where you can go in and change them. And when you change that, it changes the color of like everything. So if I select this, it'll be orange. And if I select this, it'll go back to green. So basically, they've got like a theme section going here. So I'm not going to bore you with colors or fonts or anything like that. I'm going to go in and edit that. If you want to know more about it, maybe I'll talk about it later. But for right now, I'm going to go in and I'm going to edit this. And I already have edited it because you can see I've already picked. It's the same font as my logo that I created. So I tried to use the same font, and then I tried to mix it up with like another base font that I thought was pretty good. And then here you've got some performance. So I turned off emojis. Not my favorite. This isn't going to be a site for socializing. It's going to be a site for, you know, people coming in and trying to, you know, learn something about computers. So that's not exactly what it is. And it's also, you've got some image loading. So whenever an image loads, you've got some categories there, which I think is pretty cool. And then from here, we're going to go into blog post, which is the page we're on. Or no, I'm sorry, blog post would be probably this page maybe. Yes. So you can choose different types of blog post. And this is called classic. This is simple. I like simple. I like simple and I like classic. I don't necessarily like the big pictures though. I think the big pictures detract. If we're looking at something like this, you can see it uses something way more simple, and I agree that that functionality of that is just a much better, it's a much better thing. But I do like the grid. The grid looks good too. I think the grid is a little confusing though. That may be for more of an archive page. And then they've got this enhanced grid. And the enhanced grid's cool because what the enhanced grid does is it breaks it up. So it does like a 2, then a 3, then another 2. It just makes it more dynamic. We may end up going with the enhanced grid because I just like the way that looks. And then finally you've got the Gutenberg, which is just this. And I hate the Gutenberg. I don't like the Gutenberg. It's not my favorite. I think for right now, I'm either going to go with simple or the enhanced grid. I don't know which one works better. Simple looks much cleaner, but I'm going to go with enhanced grid. It just adds a little bit more visual interest as each thing being a separate thing. If I don't like it later, I'm going to go back to the other thing. And if obviously you can add in blog title in here, which is like home, why would I want that? It seems very strange. And it's got a different type of, okay, so you can customize it to where it'll show home at the top. That's interesting. And then obviously it's got some container options, some design options. That's neat. It's good to have it. I don't think that I would use it, at least not for this. It'd be cool if you had a separate home page and then you did that, but for me, this is like an archive page. And we obviously have a sidebar here, and you can go in and once again customize your sidebar. I can do left or right sidebar. I'd never considered doing left, although I'd heard that, sometimes it helps, but I'm probably not going to do that. The card reveal effect is pretty neat. As you scroll down, the cards will kind of pop up. It adds a unique effect, but I also found it adds some additional pretty heavy loading time on the site. So I will not be using the card effect. And I definitely want pagination, so I'm going to stay with the pagination effect. So I think that that's cool. So from here we go to single post. Single post is whenever you click on a blog, and you can see I already have this set up. You can choose a wider width, a normal width, which is more of this full page type thing. Obviously I don't like that. I still want the sidebar because I think that is too ugly. And I don't like the narrow width because the narrow width, it's cool. Like this is almost like the meta right now. People love the narrow width, but I'm going to stick with the right sidebar. I like the right sidebar. If I had to choose something else, I'd definitely go with the narrow width. And then from here you can choose vertical spacing, so we can go top and bottom and give some more vertical spacing to it. I think that's neat too. And then you can choose the featured image, and obviously it's got ratios, and you can choose above the title, below the title type thing like that. So see, you can do it like this where the image comes in. I don't necessarily hate that, but I think to me, I don't know if I like it above the title or below the title. What do they do? Did they do once you're in there, do they do the image above or below? So they've got this above. See, this is weird. They do this and then they have it right here. I hate double things. But this doesn't even have any info other than this stupid graphic that someone did. I don't know if their other one. Let's see what this has. So this has got the title above. I kind of like this. I think I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to definitely stick with it above. I think that makes more interest. And then you go into the article, like header, who wrote it, when did they write it, where they write it for, and then go into the article. I think that makes more sense. And you can add in post tags if you want post tags, a share box, which the share box is this. And you can turn off the things that you want to turn off. It also has an interesting share box where you can do it on the side. The reason why I don't like the share box on the side is because, see, it's right here. It pops up like this, but if you have the back to top, which I plan to have, I mean, I guess it's cool because it pops up, but if you have this with the back to the top, they're like competing for each other. Plus, people who have like WordPress, not WordPress, but Facebook things, will sometimes put those in the corner, like, hey, message me if I have a question. Not that I'm going to do that on this site, but it's definitely not something I would use. I'd like to see the ability, oh, you can move it. I'm an idiot. You can move it to the left or right. I was going to say I'd like to see it somewhere in the middle. Maybe have a middle option here, like center. Move it to the center where it's not competing with the bottom. I'm not a big fan of that. I'm going to keep it in the actual thing here, and then it's got this module. Well, so wait, you can choose the box location at the top with this too. Oh, so you can have one at the top or one at the bottom. Oh, okay. I think people share more at the top than they do the bottom, if I'm being real honest. Even if they get to the bottom of the article, if they really like something, they're going to share it at the top. I don't know what the module is. Oh, share your love. So you can kind of write a little message like sharing is caring, that type of thing. and it obviously gives you visibility so it won't show on a phone. I think that's okay. I'm going to take off the module type. I might go back and add it later, but I'm not going to do that for now. And then you can kind of go in and customize the author box, which you can choose two different types. You can choose like this, or you can choose something different. I'm actually okay with this. I'm not sure that I like this. I don't know. That one looks more standard. It looks like it's more into the post. I guess I'll keep that. And then obviously it's got social icons, which can be set there. Which is that just the website? Yeah, that's pointless. And then you've got some design options there where you can go in and customize the border. And then from here, you've got some post navigation that I did not add, which is the previous and next post, which I think when you have the related post, I wouldn't add the previous and next. I'd only add that one or the other because I think it's overload. Like they're going to go to the next post if they want to go to the next post. I think related post is more important than that. And then we're going to leave comments on for now. I may end up turning them off later, but you can obviously go in. They even have some options for comments where you can go in and customize the comments, I believe. Oh, and this is module contained. Oh, so it'll let you add it to the bottom. Okay, or separated. And then normal or narrow. Oh, normal goes full width, narrow. I like narrow. That's pretty cool. What is the website? What is that? Website input field? I don't know what that is. So as you can see, there's a lot about this I don't know, and I think you can go in and look at that. You can adjust the number of posts. That's pretty cool. You can select the categories that you want to use. You can select, you know, the dates and stuff like that. So much that you can do with this for free. This is a free theme, and you can do so much with this, and it's just really amazing. So then we go into categories, and categories would be like if I clicked general info, it would go to a page, and general info is going to load up, and it's going to show categories. Like, I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like I'd rather do grid for categories. I don't know. Maybe enhanced grid. I don't know. Do I want to stick with enhanced grid for categories just to make it uniform? Maybe for categories we just do simple so that I can kind of mimic back and forth. I still want the sidebar though, I think. No, you know what? Screw that. We're going to do grid for categories. Yeah, we're going to do grid. And we're going to lose the sidebar on categories because I don't think it's needed. Page title we'll leave. And then card options, you can go in here and you can kind of decide whether you want simple or boxed. Choose your design, that kind of stuff. And then from here we'll go to pages. And what is a page? So a page would be like about us, I'm assuming. And I don't know what this looks like. Yeah, so this is a basic page that I had come up with. I definitely want narrow. I think narrow looks more professional. Although, do I want sidebar with narrow? Ooh, that's a toughie. Do people even really care? I think I'm going to add in, I'm going to leave this. It seems duplicate, but I'm going to leave it just because there'll be pages that, you know, if we have like a resource page, you won't get to see the other stuff. I'd rather leave it. So I'm going to leave it there. And featured image, no featured image on the pages. So then you've got your author page, which I think is right here, view profile page. Yeah, so that's this, and then it kind of gives you an idea. I'd like to do enhanced grid with that, once again, where it kind of does this duplicate thing. I don't even really like the author thing. I wish you could kind of turn it off. What happens if you choose page title? Oh, if you choose page title, it turns off this. Okay. Social channels. Let's turn off this social channels. I don't like that. Oh, and you can right align it, left align it, or center align it. Yeah. I don't know if I like it like that or like that. I guess I'll leave it as what it is. That's fine. I've already spent way too long on this video. Then from here you can go to search page and you can kind of adjust the search. Is that what this is? I'm assuming. So if I type in like computers, Will it bring something up? So that brings up about us. So this is the search results. So if I choose this, yeah, it'll go to that. I think I'd rather have a grid. I think when people search, you need to give them a lot of answers. And I don't think that you need the sidebar for search. I like the live results, so that's cool. Okay, so we've done that. And then visitor engagement, you can do some, definitely going to do IP anonymizing because I think that that's fair. I don't like to take anybody's IP data. And I'm not going to do Open Graph because this is not going to have a Facebook ID or URL. So unfortunately, I'm going to just have to use whatever I have. I think I can do some Open Graph stuff with rank math. And obviously, I'm not going to add any social networks because I'm not doing any social networks for this blog. And then they've got the cookie consent, which I like, where you can do it like that, where it appears at the bottom. Or like this. I like this better. I find it's a little less intrusive, and I'm going to go in and, you know, once I fix the privacy policy, include all of that so that people can click that. And then from here you got site identity. So this is a lot of the same that you would get. FYI, if you're looking for the logo, that's actually up at the very top, I think in the header section. So what you would actually do is go into the logo itself and you have to click there. It took me a while to get used to that because I'm so used to it and other themes being in the site identity that it just wasn't there. And then menus, we have our primary menu, which is our primary, and then we have a footer menu, which is just a footer, a default footer. And then widgets, you can go in and you can customize widgets. Some home page settings, we like our static post. And then additional CSS, and that's it. And we're going to hit publish on this baby, and it is done. We did it. We built an affiliate site. No, this is not complete. No, it still needs way more customization to it. But for right now, this is as close as it gets. I mean, this is what I'm looking for. I was looking for something just very basic that I could throw up, and I did that with Blocksy within the time that we've done this, which is probably longer than I wanted to. I guess somewhere around 30 minutes or so. So we did it, guys. We built an affiliate site. So I hope that this kind of helps you out. I hope that you can kind of see how you can do it. Like I said, I'll probably mix this with Quibbly, and I'll keep you updated as to what I do. If you want to check it out, go ahead and check it out. I'll add the link down below, and you can check this out. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I'll have some fresh videos coming out very shortly with some of my fantastic viewers giving me access to other themes and other parts. I got contacted by a couple companies that want me to take and review their stuff. You know, no paid anything, so I'll be reviewing it fair and square, looking at it, and I think it's some interesting stuff that you guys will like. So that'll be coming soon. So I hope to see you guys next time.